Welcome to your first math lesson. The math lesson this time is broken up into 3 sections. And I'm just taking 3 questions at a time. So it'll be 3 videos that you will be able to look at to help you with the first math lesson. So there are a few things you should do in order to get to this point. Number 1, you should have a calculator with you. I use a very simple standard calculator. If you have a fancy calculator and you know how to use it, that's fine too, but a simple one will work just fine. The next thing you will need is under the handout section will be a conversion sheet. This is the conversion sheet that they give you when you work, if you go to take your certification exam. And they allow you to use this conversion sheet, so I think it's really good just to start with it and become very, very familiar with it. Today we're basically going to be looking at the units of conversion and the volume section. So the first 2 sections on the left. And the final thing you should need is the math practice lesson. You should have downloaded that. So let's go right into the first question. The first question asks, again, this first lesson is about volume. So we might need to know the volume of dirt in a trench that we're going to be removing, or the amount of backfill we need to fill a trench. We might need to know the volume of water in a pipe, or in a reservoir, or in a standpipe. So at any rate, we're going to learn how to calculate these simple things. So the first question says, how many cubic yards of dirt would be removed from an excavation that is 82 feet long by 3 feet wide and 4 feet deep? So I have to remember that it says how many cubic yards. So I'm going to make myself a little note that I want to look at cubic yards. So that can be expressed as yards cubed or cubic yards. Okay. So how many cubic yards are in this trench that happens to be 82 feet long? I'm going to draw a little picture here to help me out. It's 82 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 4 feet deep. So to calculate volume, we are just going to multiply 82, the length times the width times the depth. So that would be 82 feet by 3 feet by 4 feet. Okay, so we do the standard math, we pop it into our calculator, and we're going to get 984. But 984 what? Well, we multiplied feet times feet times feet. So if you add that up, you have 1, 2, 3. That would be cubic feet. Feet cubed. Okay. Now, but that's not what the question asked me for cubic yards. So in order to get cubic yards, referring to my conversion sheet again, we'll find that there are 27 cubic feet in 1 cubic yard. So if I divide this by cubic feet, by 27 cubic feet, that will give me cubic yards. So if I do the math on that, that comes out to 36.4 cubic yards. So that is my answer for the first question. So again, all I did was multiply the length times the width times the depth. 82 times 3 times 4, that gave me cubic feet, and I needed to convert that to cubic yards, so I divided it by 27 cubic feet. My answer then is 36.4 cubic yards. We're going to move on to the next question. Now I'm going kind of quickly, but you can always rewind the video to go back over it. Okay, so question number 2 says, convert 2 acre-feet of water into gallons and cubic feet. So again, on the conversion sheet in the upper right-hand corner, I will find that 1 acre-foot, an acre-foot of water is typically 1 football field covered about 1 foot deep in water. And that is equal to 325,829 gallons. Okay, so it says convert 2 acre-feet to gallons and to cubic feet. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply this by 2 to get 2 acre-feet. And that will give me 651,658 gallons. So that's the answer, the first answer there. Now the second part of the question asks me to convert that to cubic feet. In order to do that, I have to use another conversion. So we know that there are 7.48 cubic feet per gallon, or gallons per cubic feet, excuse me. So what I'm going to do then is take this 651,658 gallons. I'm going to I'm going to divide that. It's not very clean. I'm going to divide that by 7.48 gallons per cubic foot. When I do the math, the gallons will cancel and it will leave me with cubic feet. This is why it's always important to put your units of measure on the numbers there. Just keep it straight. Okay, so if I do the math on that, I come out with 82,120 cubic feet. So those are my two answers. 651,658 gallons in 2 acre feet, or 82,120 cubic feet. That's question number 2. Again, to find it, how many gallons in an acre foot and how many gallons per cubic foot, I would find that on my conversion sheet in the upper left-hand corner. Okay, the next question says, how many gallons of water can be contained in a tank that is 25 feet in diameter, 30 feet high, but only half full? So let me draw my tank. My tank is 25 feet in diameter. That's the distance across the top there. The height is 30 feet, but it's only filled halfway full. So half of 30 is 15. So we know that we're going to now calculate the volume of just this portion down here. Okay, so in order to calculate the volume of a cylindrical tank, or a reservoir in this case, a round reservoir in this case, we have to use a different formula. It's not simply the length times the width times the depth, because obviously we only have two numbers here, two measurements to go by. So here's the formula, and again, this is on the conversion sheet, but the formula is 0.785 times the diameter squared. So to square a number, you multiply it times itself. So 0.785 times the diameter squared is 0.785 times 25 times 25. So, and then times the height. So if I would stop there, I would know the area of the top portion here. But I want to know the volume, so I need to multiply it times the height. So we're going to add the 15 feet in there. Okay, so when I work this out on my calculator straight across, the answer here would be 7,359.37. And what is it? 1, 2, 3 cubic feet. Okay. But again, this question said how many gallons of water? So we can convert gallons by using the conversion factor again for cubic feet per gallon, or gallons per cubic foot. So that would be, if I need to take that number, 7,359.37 cubic feet times 7.48 gallons per cubic foot, right? When I do the math, these will cancel. It will leave me with gallons. So when I put this in my calculator, 7,359.37 times 7.48, that leaves me with 55,048.12 gallons. That is your answer for number 3.